Practice today. We came out today, really kind of went back to almost a camp style practice. We've already started our preparation, as a coaching staff on Miami, but truly this week is all about us, about continuing to clean up the details, the fundamentals, working to execute at a higher level. So we actually got a lot of ones versus ones, twos versus twos, speed work. I thought our guys came out and competed with a real purpose. Probably one of our better days that we've had. In practice from start to finish, and we're just continuing to emphasize the same things. We're not focus on our improvement and making sure that we clean up some of the details that cost us here this past Saturday. But truly trying to learn from the experience. And I've liked our guys' mindset from Sunday night. Yesterday was an off day, but a lot of guys were coming up into the office and just seeing them around. They understand the investment that it takes, and we talk a lot about what you can do, but the challenge of the team is what will we do, and the only way to get what you want is to make an incredible investment, and that's what we're pushing for in every practice, with what we're doing in our spare time and the decisions that we're trying to make. So I thought it was a good day.
All right, first question will be Matt Baker from Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Mike, after reviewing the film, what was your assessment of the offensive line compared to what your expectations were?
I thought the guys as a whole, they're coming. And I'll say that there were some mistakes, some things that showed up. I thought early, coming out, I thought they did a nice job for those first few series, consistently, in their pass protection and what they were doing. We were able to create some run lanes. I thought that was really evident throughout the course of the game. I thought that we did some nice things, but we would have whether it was a mistake here or a mistake there. Everything has to work together, and I thought that's the biggest thing we're going to have to continue to work on is just the consistency. It was unfortunate throughout the game we ended up playing 5 different lineups with those guys. It was we had guys that had to move out to positions where they hadn't repped. We went into the game and Robert Scott and Thomas Schrader were unavailable for the game, and those were 2 guys that we were have been counting on within the depth of that top group, and so it forced guys to have to move around to different positions that maybe they haven't got as many reps on, at, and I mean it's just some of those things showed up, but I think that you see the potential, and it kind of goes back to what we can do, but what will we do, and we just have to continue to work. Those guys, I'm excited about the group, I really am, and the response and guys having to fill in different spots, and we've got to clean up some of the communication issues, but I think all in all, I mean, there's going to be great potential for growth in that unit.
Hey, Coach, given the way the offseason played out and obviously the adjustment in the schedule, is it now looking at it as an advantage to have the off week after the opener and allow you guys to focus on yourselves, or would you be game planning for a game against Sam?
I mean, it's there's benefits in both, and the thing with how we needed to play a game. We needed to see some of the things that showed up. I thought we got off to a good start. We experienced a couple different delays. We had some guys that went down, some guys that had to step up. I guess one of the big fears, and we talked about it last week, was just in those critical moments, were we going to be able to maintain the focus and the consistency throughout the course of the game to put ourselves in a position to be successful. And we had some moments where we weren't able to do that, and we left some plays out there on the field. We missed some opportunities. But all in all, I mean, it is now a great lesson to be learned for everybody. This is where we are, and this is what we need to do. I've got all the belief in the world in this football team and this coaching staff, and I'm excited about what the future holds. And we are all disappointed from what happened on Saturday, but in life there's going to be disappointments, and the response of what you do and the lessons that you learn from each experience, but that will define you, and that's what we're pushing towards. And this team needs to improve in every practice and every opportunity that we get.
Hey, Coach. Defensive line obviously wasn't real productive, but going back and watching it, it certainly seemed like there were plays where guys beat their blocks, guys got in the backfield, but could they, as a group, they couldn't keep the quarterback either contained or get him on the ground. What's the key to that improvement then?
Well, it's just continuing to work on our finish. And, I think that there were those flash moments where you saw guys, in a position. That's one of the challenging things that you face, especially with the schedule of what we had, is just the continued focus on the finish on the quarterback. And, I think there's some things that we're going to try to implement in different ways that we had, but just need more repetition on of being able, whether it's working on a dummy or whatever we can do to kind of help accelerate that development and finishing some of those plays. But we have to be impactful in that with that front four. And I thought there were some really good things. I thought Marvin showed some great effort. I thought Coop did some really nice things. Throughout. I mean, it's just all in all. I mean, that group has to be a force in unit. And I thought J-Rob did some things where he was he had to play a lot of snaps when Kendo went down. And so really kind of pushed him in that moment. And I thought he responded well, but still a lot of room for growth in all those guys. And so, but it was good to see some guys like Fabian Lovett get some extensive work. His first game, as a Seminole. True Thompson was showed some production with what he could do. Corey Durden, obviously getting him back and rolling after missing some time in camp was good. But it's all about the improvement, and that's what we're focusing on.
This will be Chris Meade from North 247.
Coach, you mentioned Joshua Kando. How is he? Is there a prognosis on him? Also, Devontae Love Taylor came back in after he got banged up, then asked to come out after he was limping. Just wondering what his prognosis might be.
Yeah, I will say that it is a positive prognosis on Kando. Something we're going to continue to evaluate. Here, day to day, the next week or so. Hopefully, that is one of the things about having an extra week that can kind of allow for guys to get a little extra time to heal up. And we had a few guys on the line that were out today that we were just continuing to get treatment and healing them up. But we do have a little bit of time, but it was a positive prognosis in regards to Josh.
Next will be Andrea Adelson from ESPN.
Mike, is there a way that you can confirm whether DJ Matthews is in the portal?
Yes.
Okay, and did that come as a surprise to you?
No. And
Okay.
at the end of the day, there's some things. Anytime you go through transition, there's some things that fit better than others, and DJ's making a decision for his future, and fully support him in that decision.
Next will be Brennan Seminoles from North 247.
Mike, now that you've been able to go back and watch film, curious to get your thoughts on the quarterback play, both from James Blackman and then obviously Jordan Travis in there a little bit too. How did both of those guys do? I thought there were some really bright moments for both of them. There were some plays that they both like to have back, but that's the great thing about playing the quarterback spot is it's really all encompassing. And I thought James made some great throws. Sometimes under pressure, sometimes in a clean pocket. We missed a couple opportunities. Left some plays out there where guys got to help him out in those situations. I thought that his eyes for the most part were right. Now he made a couple checks within the game that put us in good situations. And then he had a couple plays that he can't have, and so that's where the growth for him. I really like the things that I do see from him. I thought Jordan came in and was able to provide a spark in a couple different aspects, but he missed a good amount of time there in camp, and just trying to get him back into rhythm with what he's doing in all aspects. But you're excited about what he brings, and I'll tell you, Tate.
he's had a couple really good weeks of work, and excited about that group of where we are, and excited that I think Chubba's going to be back here soon, and that's coming along really well as well. So looking forward to that group's development.
Go back to Ira from War Camp.
Following up on that, you said back when James was named the starter that you and I think Coach Cunningham both said that you thought there was a chance other guys would play. Because of the not having the redshirt rule or eligibility not counting this year, do you expect to find ways to get those guys in games, whether or not it's starting role?
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to have a game plan with everything that we do, and if there's value that guys bring to helping this football team win games, then they are going to prepare and they're going to perform to be able to do that. I don't necessarily gonna say that I have a plan for every one of them to get into a game at some point, unless it brings that type of value. And so that'll be something that's continued to be evaluated. We're competing in every aspect of what we do. There was a lot of things. I mean, it's unfortunate. When you go back and you look at the big picture, and James was. His eyes were right. A lot of things were right in a good majority of the game, and whether it was a little bit of pressure here or a missed opportunity on a really well thrown ball, those things show up, and that's a great thing about playing quarterback is you get to receive the brunt of all of it, and James's response. I mean, he's continuing to work, and I really like that group. I mean, the character of the group of guys we have in that quarterback room is impressive. They all compete with each other, and against each other, but they all have each other's backs and pushing to be the best that they can be, and that's fun to watch. And it was really good. Sunday we went in as an entire offense, and basically, I think we ended up going through every play within the half, together, just so we could see how it all ties. And everybody's got a job, everybody's got a responsibility. We're able to finish up there today with the rest of it individually, but they see how close it is, and we just have to continue to work and develop. I told the guys, last year at this time, I was after the first game of the season, I was fortunate to be a part of one of the best offenses in the country, and I think they scored 13 points in the first game. And they just continue to grow, continue to get better. Unfortunately, we did not do the things necessary to win that game on Saturday, but we can improve from there.
We saw, especially early in the game, the running backs get involved a lot, especially I would say in the passing game. Maybe faded somewhat in terms of their usage as the game went by. How did you kind of the guys who got in there and their debut in the backfield?
I thought there were some really bright moments. Jayshawn Corbin had some nice plays. Obviously showed his versatility, being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. The Damian Webb, I thought did well. It was good to see LT get in there and get his first college experience. With the catch, and I think he had a run or two. But I think those guys' roles are going to continue to expand. We have some of the other freshman backs that I do believe can help impact this team as the course of the season goes. Some in special teams, maybe some in other roles. But excited about that group and being able to get that first game under their belt. Things we do need to improve in. Sometimes playing without the ball in our hands and in protections and different things like that. But that's a hard-working group, and they definitely have the right mindset. And I like the potential.
Next will be Terry from Tomahawk Nation.
Coach, something we heard after the second scrimmage that you all harped on was self-inflicted mistakes, and you don't like to get real-life examples of that, but that kind of happened this last game. How has that just kind of been emphasized throughout everything that you've done these last few days?
That's been emphasized since the moment we got here, and the guys. I can tell you there's accountability in all aspects of what we do, and that's why you need a game. And the emphasis in practice, the corrections that are in practice, to being able to apply those corrections within the course of a game, and not put yourself in challenging situations. I mean, you look in the second half. I mean, you look at the number of plays we ran in the course of the second half drives. We only had, I think it was 4, possibly 5 drives there in the second half. It was kind of crazy. I mean, I think the shortest drive was 6 or 7 plays, but we would have, positive move the ball, and then we'd have things that put us behind, whether it was a missed assignment or a TFL or a penalty that cost us. And so those things that we have to get cleaned up. And, it is getting emphasized daily, but like I tell our guys, man, how you do anything is going to be how you do everything. So it's got to show up in all aspects of our life, and, we're challenging them to do that, and we're challenging ourselves as coaches to do the same thing.
At this point, I guess it's just merely a hunch, but do you think Chuba will be able to execute and produce in this offense despite missing the time he has?
Well, I mean, that's going to be something that we're going to continue to work and develop him. I think every guy that's playing the quarterback position in this offense has the potential to be able to execute, and you'll play at a high level, and the best guy will play. And going through fall camp where we are, and I'm excited about the development I've seen from all of them. Obviously, with Chuba missing some time, he's going to have to get those real life reps in practice, and continue to get caught up with the speed of the game. But I'm excited about his potential, and also the potential of the 3 other guys in the room.
Hey, Coach, there were some pretty significant drops between Warren Thompson's and Tamarian Terry's. I'm curious, do you as a staff count the number of drops, and then how do you reinforce the importance of just that mental focus to make sure you've secured the ball before you then turn up field or whatnot and get some yardage?
It's something that we emphasize daily. And do we count them? Yes. I mean, everybody can count them. But at the end of the day, it's about just continuing to every rep that you take, whether it's in practice, whether it's after practice, you got to bring that game time intensity to that rep. You got to pitch yourself in the moment. There's nobody. I played receiver. Nobody wants to drop a ball. That's not something that you ever desire to do. But it happens at times whenever the fundamentals, you have a lapse, whether it's in focus or just finishing in the moment. But we're continuing to push those guys. They're working hard, and I definitely believe in that, in the group that we have, and they accept the challenge. They understand. We all watch film. We all know the moment that you don't know when that time's going to come, but you have to be prepared for it. And so we're all working away. Coaches in all aspects of play calls of the position we're putting guys in: quarterback, O-line, running back, tight ends. Everybody on the offensive side has to do the same thing, just like we have to do the same thing on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams. So. It's one thing to point to it because there were some times we didn't get the job done, but on the flip side of it, we can improve and we can make sure that doesn't happen again.
Last one, we'll go back to Ira for more chance.
Some of the young players that we really kind of saw for the first time in extended action, like Steven Dix, obviously, but also Bernardo Green and some other guys, seemed to be very productive. What did you? Were there any pleasant surprises from some of the younger players that maybe you didn't know how they would respond?
Yeah, I thought both those guys you mentioned really showed up at a very high level, and I thought they did a nice job. Josh Griffiths did a nice job in the time that he got. He really got thrust into a bigger role. In what he was needing to do. I thought Maurice Smith did a really nice job at center. I mean, there was a couple things. Obviously we had a couple penalties that we've got to get corrected. But I mean, when you look at the job that he did blocking, Darius. I mean, Dante had some good flashes. It was encouraging to see those guys. Have some of the positives that were there. We just gotta just be more consistent in that. Travis Jay, I think you see in a return game was able to have a couple of explosives, and but I mean I thought Duda or Bernardo did a really nice job, and as well as Steven Dix.